After attaching the partially filled limbs to the body, we're now going to fill the head. We use a superior hollow fibre filling and start, I usually like to pull it out into a long tail and start by threading it into the opening at the base of the neck and push it into the head and then forward to the snout area. The snout area needs to be filled really firmly because you're going to be embroidering on the nose and you don't want any hollow pockets where there's no filling in the front. You can see the head now starts taking shape. Now that Pip's head has been filled, we need to attach the cotter pin and disc to his head. Take your cotter pin, thread a washer on it, and then put the disc onto that. That's going to get inserted into the base of the head. Now we need to gather this up, and in order to do so I've used some bear maker's floss. It is very strong, it comes in a tape form and you can separate it into thinner strands. I've threaded a needle with some floss and I'm now going to run a gathering stitch along the base of the head because we need to encase that disc inside. I've removed the needle. I'm now going to pull the bear maker's floss tight and pull that up around the disc. Then I'm going to make a knot to secure it. And I then pull the two strands together and we're going to thread a needle and lose those threads in the head. You can, for extra strength, do a ladder stitch across the base of the head, and that is basically a stitch where you go into the one side of the fur and come back to the opposite side, pulling it tight as you go. This also helps you end off your thread at the base of the head. You can then end with a double back stitch. And then make your last stitch and bring your needle out, snipping the strand off. And now his head is ready to be connected to the body. Now you can see we have partially filled Pip's arms and legs. The body is still unfilled. The head is now completely filled with a cotter pin in, and now we're going to attach the head to the body. You may want to take a side view of your bear and decide where you're going to position the head on the body. For example, if you put the head too far back, his chin is going to be looking up and the eyes will be looking up at you. Whereas if you put it in the center, he'll be looking straight forward, and if you put your cotter pin further forward, he will be looking downwards. Now what you need to do is take an awl or a knitting needle or a skewer and make a hole in the center seam to position the cotter pin. That cotter pin is then going to get pushed through to the inside of the body, and then another disc is going to be inserted over that together with the washer. Make sure that all the fabric is clear underneath the disc. And then with your pliers, you're going to separate the pin. Now we need to open that cotter pin, so you're going to separate the two pins from each other using a long nose pliers, and then grip the one end of the cotter pin, and as you turn it, you're going to pull up and twist. And when you pull up like that, you're pulling the discs together to tighten them. First the one, swivel that around, and then we're going to again grip the other cotter pin at the tip, curl it and pull it up as you curl and push it down onto the disc. twist the head to ensure that the head is tight enough on the body. If not, go back to the inside of the body and tighten the cotter pin a fraction more, merely by twisting the pins with the long nose pliers. It's important that the cotter pin pushes down on your disc to create that tension.